But I can assure you that if you are really available for next 15 to 20 minutes, I can easily teach you about this 50 or 60 pages of any book, okay, but within 15 minutes with a very simple way of understanding. So let's start with wrapper classes. Very attractive and important topic of any Java learner, for any Java learner. So wrapper classes, as the name suggests, okay, so they are, what is basically a wrapper? Wrapper we mean by when we when we put something inside a box, and from at the top we wrap it up with something, then we can say that it is a wrapper. The top of that would be a wrapper. Yes or no? So here in Java, so let's move into some past of Java's development. So what happened when initially the concept of Java evolves. Okay, so as they are using the concept of object-oriented systems, so even creating a variable, writing only this involves lots of calculations related to the class. So what I mean that writing only in text does not, it's very simple for us. But what about computer? So in Java, everything is in the form of class and object. So what is this? In text. So the challenge is for the Java developers is very problematic challenge. What is the challenge? The user wants to write this, but the system wants to read in a different way. So how to cope with this particular situation? So what they did, they make available for us in text, but they make them wrapped up and use this wrapped up system for themselves. And that's why the term came. So we have data type and we have wrapper class. So the data type is int, we have a wrapper class integer. So this is a full-fledged class. We have data type float. There is a class float. We have a data type double. There is a class double. We have a data type single. So there is a class single. Okay. So this is data type, whereas these are wrapper classes. What it means? We are writing in text. Think about a particular Java programming language where to define a integer variable, you have to write 3 line, 4 line of codes. So only writing in text or writing this collection of 3 to 4 lines. So they make simple system for us, but actually in the background they perform all these particular calculations. So that, why they are doing that? So that data casting should be proper. Data casting means, data type casting means whenever I want to convert from one system to another system, it can be easily be done. Clear to all of you? So we have here I have mentioned 4 data types: int, float, double, single, and here they are corresponding wrapper classes: int, integer, float, double, single. So I think it is now up to this is clear. Up to this is clear? So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so let's move further. I need your full cooperation and full attention, okay? And in return, I can assure you, you will learn a wonderful thing. Now, there are three things that are very important. One, as I said already, data type, okay, which is basically of integer, float, double, single, and all that. Yes or no? Another is numeric string. Okay. So what is this numeric string? Basically, whenever we enter anything from our computer, I may enter 102030. I may enter hello ABC 123. So whatever we enter through our keyboard, I may enter 22.55. I may enter 33.99. So what is that? They are basically all are numeric string. You may enter some floating data, you may enter some character data, you may enter some integer data, but all are considered as numeric string. So, so numeric string are something which is very important as far as Java is concerned, because whenever the user enter any data from what? From your keyboard, all are numeric string. So you need to properly handle them. You need to do all that, calculations, all that system. So this is another, and there is another term which is known as object number. What is this basically? I am just giving you an example. I am writing integer IOBJ. Okay, let's write like that. I and this O is capital OBJ. Now, if I here I equals to 10, if I write like this, or x equals to 10, whatever I am writing. So if I write IOBJ equals to new integer within bracket x, then this becomes a wrapped up of 10. So this is the object number of the number 10, which is assigned a variable x. So this concept is clear to all of you what I said. Here think I have assigned x equals to 10. Here I have defined an object reference of, a reference of integer class, and then here I have instantiating it. Whom I am instantiating? 2x. Okay. And this IOBJ is the object number. So let us repeat again what I said. I said there are three important aspects I am mentioning over here. One is data type, another is numeric string, and the third one is object number. Data types are very simple: integer, int, float, double, single, okay, 22, 22.5, 33.999, 22.5, whatever. Numeric string means hello, India, 22, 44.5, anything that we will enter through keyboard, that will become a numeric string. Object number is, wrapped up of that data type. So if I have some data type and being defined that variable, since I think I am defining like this, in text, then I wrote x equals to 10, then all that. So this is basically the concept of an object number. So this is all about these three things. Now the interesting part is, I'm erasing this one. the interesting part is this one. So here I am writing data type. Here I am writing numeric string. Here is the object number. Okay, so what I will do, think I am here int x, and here I have done x equals to 10. Now to convert this into an object number, what I will do, IOBJ equals to new integer x. Is that clear or not? And then I will get, this is IOBJ, and then from this IOBJ, so I will write IOBJ dot to string. So whenever I apply toString method to that, because what is this basically? This is an object of which class? Integer class. So an integer class have a method toString whose objective is to convert that object number into a numeric string. So it will become okay. It will become 10, not 10. Remember that. It is not 10. And then so I have a numeric string. Okay. So here IOBJ dot. So I am going to think that I have defined a numeric string. String str. Okay. So here is the str equals to. So str equals to IOBJ dot toString. So this method will be applied from here, and the return will be going to this. So the data str, if I print str, I will see this beauty. Here is the value of method, which is nothing but a static method. See, I am directly trying to access this through integer class. So what I said up to this, I think now perfectly all right. What I said, I have a data type, I have using this or creating this an object, then I will get the object number. From that object number, I can directly go back to the data type by using the method known as int value, which is available inside the integer class. Now if think like this and this. What it mean? It mean, try to understand. It mean if I have numeric string, now a numeric string need to be converted into data type. So what you need to do? Two steps. Step 1, string str is integer IOBJ equals to integer dot value of str, and then this is step 1, and then step 2, int I equals to IOBJ dot int value. Or see, this IOBJ is nothing but this. So in spite of writing IOBJ, I can directly write integer dot value of str dot int value. Maximum book directly write this integer dot value of then int value, but they do not try to explain why they are writing two dots. But today I have tried to show you why actually it happens. You will see any book, they simply, whenever you enter anything from numeric string to data type, they directly write this integer dot value of str then int value. But they do not at all try to teach us why doing that. But here I have tried to show you. See, this is step 1, integer dot value of str, which is iobj, and here is the step 2, which is iobj dot int value. So x equals to iobj dot int value. Okay, I think it is now clear, at least. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so so we have learned how to convert from numeric string to data type. Can we have learned how to convert from data type to object number just doing this? Can we have learned how to convert data type to numeric string? Data type to numeric string. So here is one more thing required. See, I have this object number and then numeric string. So what I will write, str equals to iobj dot to string. See this. So I'm just doing the reverse one. I have data type. I am creating the object number, and then finally I am making this as numeric string. So data, and so this is from this, and I'm coming over here to the numeric string. Okay, here I am doing numeric string to data type, but I am telling you just try to write. Is this clear? Numeric string, I am repeating again, numeric string to data type. We create this numeric string first, so writing this object, and then in step 2 iobj. So this is the numeric string, and from here I am creating object number, then I am going to the data type. Now I am doing the reverse one. Let's try to understand this reverse one. I think today's lecture will be helpful in whole life. If you are a Java developer, then you cannot find any book where this, because every time, whenever you work with data, every time you need to convert from one data to another, another data to another. So every time you need this. Okay, so that is why I am more concerned about this particular topic. Okay. Now what I said we have discussed about numeric to data type. Let's discuss about data type to numeric. So data type to numeric string. Okay. What I will do, data type, so int x equals to 10. So what I will do, I will create an integer reference, integer iobj. So iobj equals to new integer x. So iobj is being created. Then I simply write str equals to string str mainly. String str and iobj dot to string. Okay, so this is how we do this data type 2. So again, this is a two-step process. Now let's, so I think it is now clear. So what I have done, I have created a variable, object reference integer, then created the object, then converted to using this toString method. Okay, this is step 1 and this is step 2. So let us move further. A very interesting thing. Now, only one thing is needed here. So, we have a numeric string, so we can directly convert it. So, I have tell you, just before I have tell you that numeric string to data type. I told you I equals to integer dot value of str dot int value. I am writing over here because there is no available space. This is we have already learned, but this is two step. See, this one and then this one. But if I follow this route, it will be by only one step. Yes or no? Because I need to go from this place to this place. Either I can directly go or I can take the help of this. I can go here and then go there. Or rather I can directly go from here to here. And this is the beauty of Java. You can directly write integer dot value of str. You can directly write. So here numeric string. So here you can write I equals to integer dot parse parse int within bracket str. So this is the method. So either you can write integer dot value of str dot int value, or you can write integer dot parse int str. Both are same. Both will perform the same task. So this is one step, this is two step. So you directly convert numeric to data type, you use always integer dot parse int. Now come back to the last one. Yes, this is the last one. Now what is that? What is that? I have integer and I want to convert this into a string. Okay, now what I will do? So actually I have this. So the answer would be str equals to new string x. You can write this or use the method str equals to new string, pass the parameter x, and this will become str, and then you can use that, or there will be string str equals to integer dot to string within bracket x. Better to write, use this technique. There is no need to create an object. Yeah. So what I said, use str equals to integer dot to string within that x. This is all about the concept. So you will always get two options for any conversion. You want to convert from this to this, you can go this to this and then come back. You want to convert from this to this, you can direct go this, then come back. So this diagram you cannot find in any book, but I can tell you that this is the master diagram just prepared for you, which can help you for every type of conversion which actually needed while developing any project, any sort of project. Now, if you have just for simplicity, I have used integer. Now, if you have float, just convert this integer to float. So here write a float y equals to something, numeric string. Here you integer will be converted to float dot parse float, the same thing. Here it will be str equals to float dot toString, the same thing. If this will be same, here would be the float dot value of str, the same thing. Here x equals to int it will be float value, and here f obj equals to new float. So, and again if it is double, so convert accordingly, double dot parse double. Okay, the iobj dot double value. If it is single, then use single dot parse single. So just the beauty of Java is so much that whenever you have a good knowledge for other things, you just need to have a very simple replacement. You can replace integer by float, you will get all the detail regarding float. If the method name is %, so it will become parse float. If the method name is parse double, if the class is double, then it will be parse double. If the class is single, then it will be parse single. So this is the master diagram which actually going to help you in converting from any data type data type to another. So whenever you take data from user, that will come here, and you need to work with this data. So there is definitely you need to convert, either use this technique or use this technique. So it's up to you. So I think wrapper classes, now I am completing this chapter wrapper classes for all of you, and I also tell you that always take this this note for you. Okay, and thank you very much. Now if you have any questions.